How does food have the ability to move around freely without being noticed by the humans? Why does being on bath salts let you notice what the food is actually doing? If you're not on bath salts, what does a grocery cart full of moving inanimate objects look like? If a running baby carrot looks like it's rolling on its side if you're not on bath salts, what do two hot dogs standing on the windowsill look like? Are they standing up? If they're not standing up, how does this woman cut one of them down the middle the way she does? Why does this woman cut one of them down the middle instead of wondering how two hot dogs got on the windowsill? How does food know what is? How does the food know how to smoke pot? How does the food know all of this and not know that people eat food? People sample food in grocery stores all the time, even when they're not supposed to. Do you mean to tell me that in the entire history of this grocery store being open, not one person put a grape in their mouth in front of all the other grapes? What would a bunch of grapes screaming look like if you weren't on bath salts? What grants a hot dog sentience? Was it the pig's intestines before it was pulled out of the pig's asshole? Was it the pig's asshole? A douche is not food. If douche so easily escapes the store's dumpster, why is getting thrown away such a big threat? Has no one ever tried to escape before? Did douche get lucky? Does being thrown away just immediately kill you? How does an inanimate object die? There's a half-empty can of beer in the stoner's house, but he seems completely fine aside from being a little upset. Does he feel violation instead of pain? At what point does he feel pain? There's dead empty cans of beer in the street. Does being empty kill you? Why is the toilet paper so disturbed about the humans wiping their with him? It's not like they're using his whole body to wipe their Does a little pair of googly eyes pop open on the cardboard roll after it's all gone? What happens if he's thrown away? Is there an entire landfill full of talking garbage somewhere? When one of the characters is running in the streets, he hides behind a shoe and notices a talking condom full of Why doesn't the exist as its own sentience? And for that matter, what was stopping the shoe from having a pair of googly eyes? There's a stick of Mentos in the film, and after tearing his ass off, it's revealed that each of the individual Mentos have their own faces and capability of thought. Did this kill the Mentos wrapper? Why would he tear himself open if he was aware it would inflict pain on himself? There's a leaky box of juice that is cut open and clearly in pain. How does the douche know that raping the juice box will fill him back up and make him not dying anymore? If you fill the juice box back up with tequila, would it make him all better? Would it make him drunk? Why doesn't the weed they smoke have googly eyes? Why don't the display stands have googly eyes? Why don't the air particles have googly eyes? What did the food running off the table look like to the stoner who was grabbing the bag of chips after the bath salts wore off? Did the food just stay there? Did he see it in motion, or did they just zip underneath the table? If the food would have appeared inanimate, what's the point of running? What's the point of presenting a message about being able to coexist peacefully without organized religion when the movie literally ends in slaughtering everyone? How does food have sex? Does food How does food reach orgasm? If sticking a hot dog into a bagel constitutes as sex, does that mean that sticking your finger through someone else's fingers constitutes as sex? How does a douche going up someone's and tugging at their scrotum able to make them walk and point and aim a gun? How does a movie that visually looks this good have half of its artists go uncredited as well as forcing them to work unpaid overtime? What the grants a character sentience? Why didn't the bongs start running around and jacking off? Why did the mints on the gum's wheelchair not have little faces on them? Why didn't the woman's hair have its own sentience? What about the microwave? And the kitchen
What about
why didn't the windows start talking to close? What about stopping the fridge from talking to the potatoes thrown? Why did people think this was the first adult animated feature film when Fritz the Cat came out over 40 years ago?